Round in Argentina, heading to pole position for Lada. This might be a good opportunity to drop in and have a word with the British driver.
So front of the grid, race 2 start. Bit of unfamiliar territory, certainly for the past 18 months or so, but I'm sure the commentators have told you that. Very good race 1, I have to say. The car was quick, did a fastest lap towards the end of the race, was happy with that. Balance was good, got a new set of brakes on the car for race 2, and as you can see, working hard, just warming everything up. Very slippery, the track, very slippery indeed, very easy to make a mistake, and we've got to be careful of that the first few laps. I think it's pretty obvious we haven't got the overall pace that the other cars have got, but we've managed to muscle our way up and found ourselves on pole position, so we'll try and make the most of it. I think the back straight is where we're going to struggle the most. Certainly been down on top speed most of the weekend compared to the other cars, but I think the rest of the lap we can just about hold our own. So fingers crossed, wish me luck.
Good luck, Huffy. Well, everybody sitting back home on the sofa will be, I can just see you perched on the edge. Settle back a little bit. There's Victor Shapovalov. This could be a remarkable day. If Rob Huff can pull off a victory here in Argentina, it will be a first for Lada in the World Touring Car Championship.
If Rob can get a good start and get away from the other guys, and then it means on that first straight, if he's got enough of a gap so they can't attack him on the first lap,
yeah,
you know, by the time he gets into twisty stuff, it might just give him that cushion that he's got then for the next time they hit the straight, that he's got enough that they're not able to attack him then either. So
absolutely right.
For that.
The one thing he cannot afford is a safety car, because then they will all be ramped up behind him. We had no safety cars in race 1. We had no safety cars last year, as far as I can recall. So Rob Huff from the yellow car of Hugo Vallant, then Mehdi Benani with more red on the roof of his red, white and green Honda, and then the danger man, Gabriele Tarquini. Behind him, Tom Chilton, white with black, and Thiago Montero, 6 on the grid. Final cars coming into position, John Philippi and Camilo Echevarria. Camilo Echevarria, the last car on the grid, the Liquimoli BMW. Here we go, ready for round 16 of the World Touring Car Championship. Termas de Rio Hondo. Lada of Rob Huff on pole position. He has got to get a good getaway, and he does. Good start. And behind, Gabriele Tarquini threatens Hugo Vallant, and Mehdi Benani is alongside Vallant. And that's exactly what Huff needed. A little bit of banging and barging, a little bit of argy-bargy into the first corner. The Lada's in front of Benani. Tarquini goes through. Montero follows him. And the Chevy is on the outside. Vallant is down to 5th position. And Benani is a couple of car lengths behind Rob Huff as they go into turn 2 and then right-handed through 3 and 4, Harry. 3 wide behind Citroens and Chevys, and it could all get a little bit messy in there. They've tried to get by Tom Coronel. And Mikulit's out very wide, but Huff has got just about enough lead onto the straight. Benani, then Tarquini, then Montero, then the yellow car Vallant, and that is Lopez already, is it? No, it's Muller up behind Tom Chilton, looking for 7th place as around the outside goes Sebastian Loeb. And Muller is going to ease him right out onto the dirt and onto the grass and into the gravel trap. And Muller, his own mistake there, allows Pachito Lopez to catch right up on him. Loeb is out the back door, but Lopez is now behind Mikulic and looking to make it 3 wide on the inside. And Lopez is going to come out of this smelling of roses. And that was Muller forcing off Loeb. Went too wide, that allowed that to happen.
It did, but at the very start, on the actual start line, Loeb did exactly that to Lopez, and he had Lopez on the grass off the line.
Wow, and Lopez is the first Citroen. Loeb almost shoved his way past Muller there. Somehow Ivan held on. Dusan Borkovic in front of René Munich, that's 11th and 12th. But Ivan Muller was up into 7th place nearly, and then dropped, it was in 7th place, has now dropped down to 10th. The architect of his own misfortune there, further back. Gianni Morbidelli, well, that's a classic Morbidelli punt into James Thompson.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Yeah. Old-fashioned racing driver, he says, and Tom Coronel way back there, struggling to even get onto terms with the Ladas. Morbidelli shunted his way through. Rob Huff leads, incidentally, fastest race lap from him, a 1:49.1.
6 tenths faster than anybody else. That's a great first lap.
Well, it's been a while since, it's not been that much of a while since Rob Huff has won. He won, of course, again in Macau in November. Where are we now? August. All right, it's 9 months, 10 months nearly. So it has been a while, but he has eased away from Bernani and Tarquini and Montero. So Honda's 2, 3, 4, then Vallant and Chilton, the black and white car, and then Lopez in 7th place. Lopez looks inside, Chilton goes deep in defence, and that's going to cost him, Harry, because Lopez is right alongside.
He is, and Lopez is going to, yeah, he's dropping back. He can't hold it. Volante's on the outside, though.
Yeah, no, Vallant was in front, ran wide onto the dirt. Chilton's trying to go one way. Lopez is going to go 3 wide again, the same place. This time he's the man on the outside, but look at the grip he's got. He just drives around the outside of both of them. This time, though, can't hold on to it, got onto the loose, and a little bit of a lock-up. Chilton picks up the place. Vallant loses one. Lopez, no net gain on that lap. Wow. Well, race 1 may have been a little bit follow my leader. Race 2, anything but. This the battle for 5th place, and Lopez, what a great run he's got going there onto the straight.
You can see the dominance of that Citroen, though. They're so quick and they can hold such a tight line, and they're not as hustled through the corners as the other cars.
Yep. And right behind Vallant is Muller into the final couple of corners. Well, there's barely a straight there worthy of the name, but Lopez used it anyway. Now he's shaping up against Chilton. Come on, Tom, hold him off. Hugo Vallant holding off Ivan Muller as well, but not for long. Vallant drifts out wide, lots more understeer, and again, like the Chevys always used to do, the Citroens turn inside anybody and still get the power down. Normally, Harry, you can either turn in tighter or get the power down earlier. You need a really good chassis to do both.
Yeah, you're right, and that's exactly what we're seeing from the Citroen here. This is helping Rob as well. Rob's had another lap where he was 6 tenths faster than Bernani, but interestingly, Montero and Tarquini are both catching Bernani. Yeah. So that could just be the cushion that Rob needs to scamper off and get enough of a gap here.
Well, you know what it's like when you're on the motorway. If cars are individually spaced, you can sort of, or on a country road, you can sort of loop by them. If they're all in a line, nose to tail, it's much harder to get by and find somewhere to get in. And that's what Rob needs. He needs Bernani, Tarquini, Montero, Chilton, all to be as a solid lump in front of Lopez and Muller and Loeb when they arrive. And that gives him another lap or 2 to escape. Loeb looking back at Vallant, as he is now up into 7th place. He was 10th at the start of the lap. Tom Chilton, car number 3, the white and black Capsicum Chevrolet. 5th position, just in front of Jose Maria Lopez. Now, much as it would be a great story for Lopez to win both races here in Argentina, I hope that he doesn't, because it would be an even greater story for Lada to claim their first win in the championship battle. In front for 3rd, and is that Montero going by Tarquini? It was.
Yeah.
So Thiago again showing he's got the speed, he's got the confidence in the car, he's got it all going for him. I think Tarquini, in fact, got him back.
Yeah, he did. He must have done.
Yes, he did. So Thiago had a lunge up the inside, and Gabrielli fought him back off. Meanwhile, behind, Borkovic, Morbidelli, yellow car Vallant, and then Rennie Munich in front of James Thompson.
Here we go, look in the background how far Lopez is on the grass from Loeb.
Fully on the grass. And Rob Huff gets into the first corner in front, covers off Mehdi Bernani, and Vallant's there, just sort of holding everybody else up. He didn't get the greatest start, Hugo Vallant, in that yellow and white Chevy. Yeah,
he got a bit of a rum start, it'd be fair to say, and then got held out to dry around the outside here, and yeah, it's just not gone well from that opening lap.
Yep, Thiago shuffling up the inside, right behind Gabriele Tarquini. Oh, and that's Tom Coronel was getting eased off. That's where he dropped right down the order. He's down in 16th, incidentally. And, yeah. OK, Gianni, explain that to the stewards. I'm not seeing how that was a good move, either way.
No, it was either clumsy or intentional, so...
intentionally clumsy, yeah. Well, I'm not sure he'd intentionally tub him out the way, but it was a very random move indeed. Jose Maria Lopez, 37, still trying to get around Tom Chilton, and this is really good news for Rob Huff. Every corner that his family holds their breath as Lopez tries to get around Tom Chilton is another corner that Rob Huff doesn't have to worry about. This is going to be an interminable 13 laps. What's he going to do in the lead of this race? He's just over a second in front of Benani, and he's just, it's almost waiting for the hammer to fall, isn't it?
Tarquini looks like he's getting a bit racy with Benani.
Yeah.
This is quite an interesting situation you've got now, because Benani's technically an independent against the works cars,
yeah.
but will he let them go through? I don't think he will. He certainly doesn't look like he's going to do it.
Defends deep. Tarquini's going to cut underneath, and Morbidelli. Montero's going to try and follow through. Gabrielli's gone through. Montero's trying to go through now. This opens the goal for Jose Maria Lopez, because if they all fall over each other, suddenly he gets 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 places. Tom Chilton goes inside Benani, so suddenly Benani's been shuffled down 3 places in the pack, and Lopez down the straight with the afterburners lit, comes right by like before. Chilton and Benani towing each other, can't even match the Citroen for pace. Look at the speed.
Wild. That's almost a difference to seeing British touring cars when someone's got this boost crank right up. I mean, that's mental how much more power it's got.
And Muller's almost picked them off as well. He got by Benani, sort of, and Chilton only because he had the tight 180-degree right-hander and could stay inside, keeps just in front of Ivar Muller. And of course, for Lopez, every car between him and Muller is a good news story. But Lopez is now up to 4th position. It's Huff, Tarquini, Montero, Lopez. Chilton in 5th, looking back at Muller in 6th. Don't forget, Muller started 9th, Lopez 10th. Sebastian Loeb, who started in 8th place, is down to 9th at the moment and struggling in his car. He's in that queue at the back of it.
Huff's seen that going on behind him, and he's just put his fastest personal lap in of the race there, so he knows he's got to press on. He'll have seen Tarquini come through, and he knows it. You know, it's game on now.
He will be taking the whip to that car like never before. He will be flogging that Lada Granta Sports to within an inch of its life. 2.2 in front of Tarquini. Tarquini and Montero must not fight each other.
That was 4 tenths faster though. Huff was 4 tenths faster than Tarquini on that lap, so that's still encouraging news.
But still, these two Hondas could both be on the podium as long as they don't fight. Yeah. Gabrielli needs to just be clean and perfect and allow Thiago just enough room to do the same. And Hugo Valente is out. Whatever ailed him after qualifying still ails him. And here comes Lopez. He's got the inside groove and he just pulls past. And that is just insane. Montero can't do anything about it. Lopez has gone by 1 Honda. He's now up into 3rd position. That's
got to be heartbreaking for Tarquini there. So Montero just sat there watching that just drive past you in a straight line.
And it's only lap 6. It's like when you know you've got the slowest kart on the indoor karting, you're just waiting for them to all come by you. And here comes Ivar Muller inside Tom Chilton. This time he's got the position he needs. He drives around the inside, and Tom's not going to be able to hang on outside there to fight back on the next corner, or is he? Yes, he is. Shades of Shanghai last year when they were both in the RML Chevy team. Oh, and Lopez is all over the back of Tarquini, and Tarquini either rode the curbs roughly or got a nudge, and Chilton and Muller are still at it. Great racing from Tom Chilton and Ivar Muller, wheel to wheel through now 5, 6 different corners, and still the Frenchman has not got by. And Thiago Montero right up behind Jose Maria Lopez still might look to try and come back at him. No, Lopez has got by Tarquini in that last couple of corners.
This is the dangerous bit now, isn't it? I mean,
look at there's the Lopez family and fans. He's clear, and Chilton is still holding off Muller.
That Citroen's just going to scorch up to the back of Rob now, but as Murray Walker once famously said, it's one thing catching and a totally other thing overtaking.
Yeah, not when you're in a McLaren Honda.
The speed on the straight.
In the 13 out of 14 race season, the speed on the straight is just insane. This is how it happened. Look, turns in inside Tarquini, who can't hold the line tight. Through he goes.
Morbidelli drive-through penalty for that incident early on.
Yeah. Not a surprise at all. It was a very random piece of driving. Rob Huff still our race leader. And Thiago Montero attacking Gabriele Tarquini as Ivar Muller tries to go around the outside of Tom Chilton. Was there contact? There wasn't. But Ivar Muller is running out of tyres. Why is Jose Maria Lopez not running out of tyres? Loeb is working his way through, though. Sebastian Loeb just picked up 2 places because he got by Mehdi Benani and Norbert Mikulits.
This is a fantastic swap between Chilton and Muller. They've just, you know, they've been side by side for over a lap now and barely touched each other.
Lap and a half of wheel-to-wheel racing, no quarter given, none asked, and you can see that Muller has no real advantage over Chilton. It comes and it goes, and he can't get by, and he can't make it stick, and he can't escape. Maybe now he's in front, it will, but for a lap and a half, that's a long time to spend, given how Lopez is just breezed by everybody in a straight line. Not sure what Jose Maria Lopez engineers are having for breakfast, but it's making a big difference to his car. He's just set the fastest first sector and the fastest lap of the race for Lopez. A 1:45.9 to Huff's 1:47.2. The gap has come down from 2.5 to 1.1 seconds. Lopez could win this at a canter.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's inevitable, isn't it? There's no way Rob's going to be able to fend that off.
The only thing that I would say at the moment is that there is almost nobody in the top 6 that is going as quick as Rob Huff, the race leader. Gianni Morbidelli serves his drive-through, and unfortunately he's already ruined James Thompson's race by thumping him sideways. So he pays the penalty for that. Huff leads onto the back straight, and from there Lopez could be in front into corner 5. He's closing on Huffy.
Oh, it's such a shame. I thought we were going to see a bit of a giant killing out going on there.
It's all but inevitable, but that's where he's most likely to pass. And the final corner, 13 and 14, that hairpin right left section, that's the next bit. But Rob Huff didn't accidentally win a world championship, and Loeb and Chilton get into contact in a way that Muller and Chilton didn't. Muller's perhaps got a little bit more, well, no, perhaps about it, a lot more racing finesse than Sebastian Loeb. Maybe Tom Chilton's tyres just ran out. We can't really apportion blame. We only saw the end, not the beginning of that. Borkovic and Bernani, they've been wheel to wheel for a lap already. So, all right, Loeb got by both of them, but here is the battle for the lead. Huff out of turn 6.
A big wide circuit like this with lots of changes of direction, you can give each other room and not have to hit each other like that. But it does create some great racing, and you know, it's a little bit different to a lot of circuits that we see on the calendar, but more of it, please.
Well, Lopez is sitting right behind, isn't he, down into the final couple of corners. That wasn't corner 6, that was corner 11 they were coming out of. Onto the start-finish line, it was 1.1. It's down to 0.369 of a second. That's a car length in English.
I don't think Rob's going to be able to hold him up in the middle of the corners. It's just that straight where we've seen that car just take off like a robber's dog. You know, it drove past the Citroens, sorry, the Chevrolets and the Hondas, and we already know the Lada's slow in a straight line. So unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be much anywhere really that Rob can put that car to stop him driving past.
On board with Jose Maria Lopez, the Lada gets onto the throttle first, but onto the straight we go, and this is where Lopez is in happy hunting grounds. Just look at the speed differential. Nothing Rob Huff could possibly do about that, and that's going to be gutting, but he is going to be on the podium unless something goes bang on the Lada, and I don't think he's giving up yet either. The Lada's got a small, nimble chassis in the twisty stuff. As the crowd celebrate Lopez going through, I think Rob Huff is still going to give him a tough time, but look at that. Lopez has opened up nearly half a second already in a couple of corners.
I think that was Rob accepting best. You know, you've got to pick your fight sometimes, and he knew that that was inevitable. There's no point getting caught up in an incident which you don't need to be in. Still, let's be realistic. That's a fantastic result for a Lada to come second, and you know, it's just a shame that it's another Citroen win with with such ease and such dominance. Really, and it would have been nice to see Rob win this.
Well, we're seeing the end there of Loeb versus Chilton. You can see either that Tom was going around the outside or Loeb was coming up the inside, but either way, Sebastian gave him no room to survive.
Sebastian's quite aggressive, isn't he? I think we've seen quite a lot of this throughout the year so far. He doesn't mind a shunt.
No. Well, it's all those years of rallying where he wasn't allowed to hit anybody. And definitely you don't want to hit the trees. So, now, things that are a little bit more frangible around him, and that's unfortunately put paid to Tom Chilton's race.
I think it's like we saw with Valent's car before in race 1, that you could just see all like the rubbish just collecting up in the front there.
Yeah,
it'll just be overheating.
Well, and also, contact, that sideways slap, that can often produce a broken steering arm or something. So Ivan Muller still struggling to match the pace of Lopez. Lopez last lap, 1:46.6. Muller, timing screens just died. Muller 1:47.1, half a second slower. All right, he's behind the Hondas, but hang on a minute. This is the straight where Lopez just breezes by. Here comes Ivan up behind Thiago. and he's got a slipstream off both Hondas, but it's not the same. He can't make it go by the same way that Lopez does. Why has he not got the straight line speed that Lopez has?
He still pulled in a lot, but yeah, like you say, it didn't look like the rocket chip that Lopez had off the corner.
Lopez comes from half a second back to half a second in front. Ivan can only just close up the half a second. Maybe Lopez has got a 2-litre turbo this weekend. Ivan Muller on the inside of Thiago Montero. Thiago's got the inside for the final corner. Muller's not getting by this time. Well, not the final corner, but over the crest.
Yeah, look at the grip that the Citroen has there. He just goes around the outside if he wants.
Yeah.
It is exactly like you said with the Chevy. We saw that last year. It could just take a tighter line, or it could go around the outside of people, and it could seem to brake later and still get to the apex, which, you know, these Citroens seem to have a very similar kind of body language about them.
The thing that amuses me is that sometimes the Citroen mechanics seem a little bit surprised their car has gone by. Hello, what, have you not been watching any of the other races? Lopez leads from half by 1.8 seconds. And this is why a lap ago he came breezing by on the straight. Rob Huff not doing anything silly, because at this stage of the season every podium is worth its weight in gold. And actually, do you know what? With a couple of good improvements, Huff could win in Macau again. He seems to have a very special relationship with that street circuit.
Yeah, the car could lend itself very well to Macau as well. A short wheelbase and quite a small little car. We saw that with the Lucetti when the Lucetti was there. That was a mega car on Macau.
Well, Jose Maria Lopez then leading this race. He's already won 2 of the 3 races he's ever started at this track in the World Touring Car Championship. He is now on the way to making it 3 of 4. And you're looking here at Serbia's Dusan Borkovic with Mehdi Banani in the Honda, and the red Lada of James Thompson in 10th place, looking to get by Banani. Again, very encouraging weekend for the Lada drivers. They're able to fight wheel to wheel with the Hondas and predominantly with the Citroens. And really, it's only Lopez that's been able to just blow them away easily.
Yeah, and we know there's some more upgrades coming for that car for the next round, so that'll be very interesting to see how they progress it. And we know that one of the main things that they found for this weekend is just being able to get the car to minimum weight, where in the past it's not actually been achievable to get the car to its base weight. So that's a big advantage, because all season so far they've been running around with effectively success ballast, which they didn't need to carry.
Yes, absolutely right. Of course, now the flip side of that coin is that their speed improves, and so they start to have to carry a little bit more weight. But the Lada boys will be in the mood for a bit of a party, I think, in Rio Hondo tonight, if Rob Huff can hold this together on the final 2 laps to take a podium. Not the win that even in their wildest dreams nobody on the flight over here would have thought might come Lada's way. But you're right. The word that we're hearing is that there's a very good chance next year that the Lada Sport team will start to use some of the facilities at Magny-Cours that they've not been using so far, i.e. team up with Hugues de Chaunac's Orica squad, and that could be a real game changer. That could really move the Russian team forward, because of course when Ivan Muller won championships for Seat, he was engineered and run by Hugues de Chaunac's team. Sure, they were Seat Sport built cars, but it was Orica that won the title with Ivan Muller and not the factory Seat Sport team. So they know what they're doing in motor racing, and they've got a lot of facilities that the Lada team could definitely benefit from. And then we might not be looking at Lada's on reverse poles, we might be looking at Lada challenging for a genuine top 5 pole into 2015. Absolutely. And that would be a major step forward.
And they're bringing the new chassis, the new floor plan out as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them starting to develop that fairly early on. And we know that the Orica Seat, like you said, it wasn't the factory Seat car, but they did a lot of their own development to that car, so there's a big difference between those Seats, even though they look exactly the same. You know, the aero on the outside was all the same, but lots of little subtle tweaks were made, which Orica did, and you know, there's no doubt about it, they're a top-notch team.
One thing you can say about the Orica component in the Lada at the moment, which is the engine, is that there's nothing wrong with that. That is going pretty nicely, thank you very much. Rob Huff still in 2nd place, and Gabriele Tarquini with his Mugen Honda engine not able to catch him. 3rd place Ivan Muller. Not sure if he's going to catch him either. Muller's just set his own personal best 2nd sector of the race. He's done a 1:47.4. Rob Huff's last lap a 1:48.1, so 7/10 quicker, but Ivan is still 2.1 seconds behind on the last lap.
Yeah.
So Rob Huff is pretty much nailed on to second place here. Jose Maria Lopez gets onto the back straight for the final time. Of course, a big cloud of smoke from that wouldn't disappoint the Lada mechanics in any way.
I don't think so.
But I don't think it's going to happen. One thing Citroen has got is plenty of reliability. But again, look at Norbert Mikulicz right up behind Sebastian Loeb. Your last lap lunge in prospect here. Tarquini, Montero, Loeb, Mikulicz. That is the battle for fourth. It is going to be Lopez leading to the line, Huff in second, and Muller in third. So Lopez and Muller back on the podium, and again between them another car. So that's another 10-point gain for Jose Maria Lopez. He came here 37 points adrift after qualifying 40 points in front. After race 1, 50 points in front of Ivan Muller. And after race 2, with back-to-back wins at home, he will be 60 points in front of his closest championship rival, the four-time world champion Ivan Muller. Rob Huff is going to take second place. I'm going to put money on that now. Ivan Muller is not going to get close. Into the final corners come Jose Maria Lopez, and Rob Huff is just in front of Ivan Muller. The flag flies. Lopez is a double race winner in Argentina. 3 wins in 4 races here. Rob Huff, second place. Congratulations to him and to all the Lada boys. Svetlana already tweeting the result. Well done.
That was a great result. You could see Rob as he went across the line celebrating like that was a race win, and
yeah,
you know, he certainly had a drive for that. And
yeah,
just you know, again, great drive by Lopez, and everything fell his way as we've seen. And you know, it's a little bit like watching Ivan last year, you know, where he almost couldn't do anything wrong, and all of his rivals kind of drop off around him. And you know, it's just right place, right time, and that's what it takes. But yeah, great effort from the Lada boys, and fantastic drive from Rob. And it's a shame to see Citroen domination yet again.
Yeah. Well, Jose Maria Lopez, there's nobody can say that he's not going to be a deserving champion if he wins the title. And if Ivan Muller somehow overhauls him, holy cow, that's going to be an epic end to the season. Rob Huff, well, we thought he was happy yesterday with 10th place and the race 2 pole. Look how thrilled he is with a first podium for him and Lada.